A randomized trial of Epineprine out of hospital cardiac arrest. Methods: in a randomized double-blind trial involving 14 patients without hospital cardiac arrest in the United Kingdom, paramedics at 5 National Health Service ambulance service administered 8 peritoneal epinephrine for 15 patients or saline placebo 99 patients, along with the standard care. The primary outcome was the rate of survival at 30 days. Secondary outcomes included the rate of survival until hospital discharge, with a favorable neurologic outcome as indicated by a score of 3 or less on the modified ranking scale, which ranges from 0, no symptoms, to 6, death. Epinephrine video.
Epinephrine is one of many hormones that is water-soluble, hydrophilic, and therefore unable to cross the hydrophobic plasma membranes of its target cells. Instead, it binds to receptor proteins located in the plasma membrane and does not enter the cell. When epinephrine binds to beta-adrenergic receptors on the liver cell, G proteins on the inner side of the cell membrane are activated. Each G protein is composed of 3 subunits, and the binding of epinephrine to its receptor protein causes one of the G protein subunits to dissociate from the other 2. The G protein subunit which dissociates from the others carries a GDP, which is replaced by GTP when the subunit is activated. The activated G protein subunit then diffuses within the plasma membrane until it encounters adenylyl cyclase, a membrane enzyme that is inactive until it interacts with the G protein subunit. When activated protein subunit, adenylyl cyclase catalyzes the formation of CAMP from ATP. The CAMP formed at the inner surface of the membrane diffuses within the cytoplasm, where it binds to and activates protein kinase A, an enzyme that adds phosphate groups to specific cellular proteins. In liver cells, protein kinase A phosphorylates and thereby activates another enzyme called phosphorylase, which converts glycogen into glucose 6-phosphate. The glucose 6-phosphate is then converted to glucose. Through this multi-step mechanism, epinephrine causes the liver to secrete glucose into the blood during the fight or flight reaction.
Okay. Epinephrine definition: a hormone secreted by the adrenal medulla upon stimulation by the central nervous system in response to stress as anger or fear, and acting to increase heart rate, blood pressure, cardiac output, and carbohydrate metabolism. A commercial form of this substance extracted from the adrenal glands of sheep and cattle, or synthesized, used chiefly as a hair stimulator to constrict the blood vessels and to relax the bronchi in asthma. Another video.
Imagine you're getting ready to race. The stress you feel makes your brain signal the adrenal glands to produce epinephrine, or adrenaline. Adrenaline increases your heart rate. As a result, more oxygen gets to your muscles. That makes your body ready to react. In a longer-term response to stress, the glands secrete cortisol. Cortisol promotes the release of energy, making you ready to race. Cortisol promotes the release of energy, making you ready to race.
One discussion. Meta-analysis of sequence randomized trials involving 61 C74 patients and with investigators compared standard dose of epinephrine 1 mg with high dose epinephrine 5 to 10 mg showed better rates of return of spontaneous circulation and hospital admission with the high dose regimen, but no significant between group difference in the rate of survival until hospital discharge or survival with a favorable neurologic outcome. Epinephrine effects. To decrease oxygen delivery to the hair can cause hair muscle. This is called pulmonary edema. If the oxygen sulfur reaches critical levels, the brain cells begin to die. This is called an anoxic brain injury. Patient population, adult patient who had a sustained and out of hospital cardiac arrest for which advanced life support was provided by trial trained paramedics were eligible for inclusion. Criteria for exclusion were no or apparent pregnancy, an age of less than 16 years, cardiac arrest from anaphylaxis or asthma, or the administration of epinephrine before the arrival of the trial-trained paramedic. In one ambulance survives, traumatic cardiac arrests were also excluded in accordance with local protocols. Statistical analysis, we determined that the enrollment of age 1,000 patients will provide the best result to balance precision and practicality. With this target sample size, if the risk ratio for a epinephrine group was estimated to be 1.25, the corresponding negative 5% confidence interval would range from 1.07 to 1.46. A risk ratio of 1.35 corresponds to a rate of 30-day survival of 6% in the placebo group and 7.5% in the epinephrine group. Conclusion: in adults with out-of-hospital cardiac arrest, the use of epinephrine resulted in a significantly higher rate of 30-day survival than the use of placebo, but there was no significant between-group difference in the rate of favorable neurologic outcomes because more survivors had several neurologic impairment in the epinephrine group.